So I've listened to this interesting audiobook. It's called Rejection Proof by Jia Jiang. He's an entrepreneur who realized that his fear of rejection was hindering his career. To overcome his fear of rejection, he challenged himself to get one rejection a day for 100 days. And he filmed himself doing that challenge. To guarantee that he would get rejections, he came up with some ridiculous requests. For example, he asked a stranger to lend him $100.
Excuse me, do you think I can borrow $100 from you?
No.
No?
Why?
Alright. No, okay, sorry, thanks.
He asked at a restaurant to get a burger refill, or he knocked on a stranger's door and asked the guy,
Do you think it's possible for you to take a picture of me playing soccer in your backyard?
What's maybe more absurd is that some people actually said yes to those requests. At the beginning of a challenge, Jia was very afraid of rejection. He didn't know how to react. But over time, he became more and more brave in his requests and he was more confident. As I was listening to that audiobook, I thought, wow, this is so inspiring. Like, if this guy could overcome his fear of rejection, then maybe I can overcome my fears. I can become more confident. But then another thought came to my mind. Well, that's a great story, but I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could overcome my fears. I don't think I could go to a restaurant and ask for a burger refill. I considered doing that. It's so funny how we tend to think that we are the exception, so others can overcome their fears, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, stepping out of the comfort zone. Others can do that, but we cannot. We are the exception, or maybe those people are the exception to the norm. And the interesting thing that Jia says in his book is that because of his fear of rejection, he gave up on some of his projects that might have turned out to be a success, but because of his fears, he rejected himself before anyone else could. And so maybe the reason why we haven't overcome our fears, maybe the reason we feel stuck, is because we haven't even tried to face our fears. Here's the thing. There is no way to think our way through our fears. We can do all the mind work, we can reframe some of our thoughts, we can do research on how to become more confident, how to overcome the fear of rejection, but ultimately the only way we can overcome our fears is to face them. I can understand why we resort to all those theoretical ways of dealing with our fears, because facing our fears is so painful. But the great news is that even though it can be so scary at the beginning, over time we will grow in confidence and we will overcome our fears. The only way we can get there is by doing the thing. So, are you the exception? Well, there's no way to tell unless you have actually tried.